What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damo Love Sports, man. We back again with another reaction video, man. And today I got a banger for y'all, man. Today we will be reacting to accidental basketball ruined the NBA. Already know this one right here finna be a banger, man. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, man. If you love sports, this is the place for you. Make sure to smash that like button, man. Hit that like button with that three-piece combo, Mike Tyson style, with that leg, thigh, and that biscuit for your boy. But without further ado, let's get right into this video, man. Yes, sir.
Like, these players now play accidental basketball, and it drives me and Phil crazy because it's all penetrating pitch. You may make the shot, you may not. You have no idea who's going to be open or whatever. It's accidental basketball. We play basketball with purpose.
The game of basketball is pretty simple if the ball's moving.
Sure.
Now, the point guard can do whatever he wants to do. Instead of dribble from one side to the other, back and forth. But he's an initiator, and if he gets that ball moving, that ball's moving, everybody feels a part of it. It doesn't matter where it ends up because it's always going to end up to the best player. You know? Sometimes that always happens. But
ball has energy.
That's right, and you get that ball moving, and good things happen all the time. It's a pretty simple game if you play it the right way.
When it comes to the greatest teams in NBA history, many would look at the 2017 Warriors, 01 Lakers, and especially the 96 Bulls, as all those teams were historically dominant and great in their respective era. Now, like most debates, looking at the greatest teams, greatest players, greatest anything, it is very, very subjective and opinion-based. But looking at all those teams, if you love team basketball on both ends, great passing and defense, there's two teams historically that personify both those traits. First up, 2014 Spurs, led by Tim Duncan, and secondly, the Boston Celtics in 1986, led by Larry Bird.
Until now, Celtics running. They have a chance here. 4-on-2. Bird to pass.
It's more effective offensively. It's a bad shot by Mike.
Not that way. Boston 2-on-1, and Webb is back. Bird is on Lloyd now, doubling on Sampson, and takes the ball away. 3-on-1 for the Boston.
Perfection.
If you want to talk the greatest passing teams of all time, the 86 Celtics 2014 Spurs are on a very short list. As looking at both their lineups, there wasn't just one great passer, one great playmaker. As looking at 1 through 5, all their players are capable passers who can make the right play at any moment. And for a team like Boston, who are they led by? Larry Joe Bird, debatably the greatest passing forward of all time. Off the bench, you have Bill Walton, one of the greatest passing bigs the game's ever witnessed.
He was special.
When you look back at this Boston team in '86, they have the prototype of the 2014 Spurs. And compared to the modern era, where it's dribble, 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 everyone watching, last minute pass for an assist, they make it or they miss it, the 2014 Spurs 86 Celtics, everyone is involved getting touches and capable of making a highlight play. Now, speaking of highlights when it comes to the Celtics, their biggest highlight, biggest peak was Game 5 of the 86 semis versus the Hawks in Boston. This game historically is never talked about, but watching the film in the third quarter, it was absolute brilliance. Boston for the quarter, 36 points. The Hawks only managed 6.
Third quarter, they make history.
Finds Parrish. Nice pass.
I remember talking to Danny about that quarter, and he described it as the perfect quarter of basketball.
When our team really wanted to and really had to, we were so special.
It was a thing of beauty.
What does Mike Fratello do? He just called a bunch of timeouts. He just ran into a tsunami, and we just wiped him off the face of the earth.
Just took all the life out of the Hawks.
It was like we were stuck in mud, and they put on a clinic in that quarter. They really did.
Playing them at times, they would go somewhere else, and you couldn't go there. You know, you knew your team couldn't go there, and it was a humbling experience.
So, stopping that right there very quickly, their third quarter Game 5 versus the Hawks, to me personally, is the pinnacle of team basketball. As looking at the offense, outrunning the fast break, making great passes, making the extra pass to open teammates. And on the flip side, vice grip defense in the paint and on the perimeter.
2 shots. And that's one of the main differences, I would say, that from me doing my homework on watching past games, the past legends of the game, the Larry Birds, the Michael Jordans, all of those great players, you know. When I watch them play like full games, not just highlights, but full games, in comparison when I watch full games and highlights of today's era, it's a lot more I can do it all, and it's a lot of ISO, and like what Kobe said at the beginning of the video, it's a lot of just dribble and penetration. Is in hoping that the guy makes it. I feel like what makes a great team, what makes a championship team, is how they played back in the day. The unselfishness. It wasn't too much ISO ball. You know, it wasn't too much of that. Yes, it was still in the league, but it wasn't as much. The ISO didn't go on as much as it does now, is what I'm trying to say. And that's why the teams back then, they understand it. Everyone had a role, and everyone had to perfect their role to make the team better. A lot of people nowadays, they like to chuck up shots. They want to be the main man. They want the offense to flow through them. They want to have a touch of the ball every single time they come up the court. When players like Larry Bird, he didn't too much care about that. He was unselfish. He knew he was going to get his regardless, but he was going to also make his teammates better around him with his passing. The main title of all of this is team chemistry. The chemistry was way better than how the chemistry is nowadays, which is why the whole Celtics roster, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, they were all Hall of Famers, and a big part of that reason that they were all Hall of Famers is because how Larry Bird made them all better. Michael Jordan, how he transformed his team and made them all better. Scottie Pippen wasn't that good of a player when he first came into the league, but when he paired with MJ, and they started getting that chemistry right and how selfish they were without the ball, the chemistry started building. It's just things like that, teammate chemistry. That's what makes great teams. And back in the day, they had great teammates, great teams. That's why it wasn't too many superstars bouncing from team to team. Everybody wanted to stay on their team because they wanted to build their team. They didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay with that team they were with and build that team up from the ground up, no matter what it took or any of that. They wanted to be that and make their team push over the lump. That's the difference between past era and today's era. A lot of areas, in today's era, it's more of, well, this is not working out. This is not going to ever work out. I just want to trade. I want to leave. I want to go join another superstar. I want to go join. That's why it's like that, because they don't take the time to build the team chemistry and make everyone around them better. That's why they were so successful. That's why the basketball looked more pretty in a way back in the day. Yes, you can make the argument that, okay, today's players, you do the in and out behind the back. That's cool and all, man. That's cool. But a simple bounce pass, that extra pass, everyone on the team touching the rock, everyone feeling engaged, that builds team chemistry. That makes your team better. And it makes your team look beautiful, you know? The closest thing to that, and that's not really, it's today's era, but it's not really today's era. It's kind of back in the day a little bit. The closest thing to that, to me, in my opinion, was the Spurs. From Popovich, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Kawhi, you know what I'm saying? That team, how they facilitated the ball, that was more of the style of the past era than any team nowadays. That's the closest you're going to get to it. We'll probably never see it again, to be honest. Basketball was a very beautiful sport in the past eras. That's why I really love doing my homework and really love doing these videos. But let me stop rambling. Y'all know I could talk a little bit. You feel me? I'm just passionate about basketball. But let's get back to the video, though. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts.
Right on line, and both of them have bounced around the rim and just have more options on their offense.
Bird again to reach in. No changes for the Celtics. Dominique blocked by Bird. Even when the Hawks look like they have an opportunity to run, suddenly there's 4 white shirts back there. Blocked by McHale.
It was everything that was great about the 1986 Celtics on display in full force for you. Pace, rebounding, shooting, scoring, and again, defense. If you want to go back and look at what the 86 Celtics were all about, call up that third quarter, because that was it in a nutshell.
The only two teams in the so-called modern era who could lock you up on one end and score 35 plus on the other end were the Golden State Warriors and San Antonio Spurs. And like I said earlier, this Celtics team was the prelude to all that. And just like those teams, they could take a 10-point game, push it to 20. take a 20-point game, push it to 30, and rest the entire fourth quarter. That two-way dominance, great team two-way dominance, is a lost art for teams, especially in the 2020s. And looking at Boston on defense, the entire Hawks roster, abysmal shooting top to bottom. Out of the entire roster, not a single player over 33% shooting for the quarter, and no single player had more than one made field goal.
Oh, that's not good.
Now, for some more context, the Hawks this quarter, only scoring 6 points in the third quarter, is the lowest mark ever in a single quarter in playoff history. The second lowest, ironically, Boston vs. Atlanta 2016, in a first quarter where they only scored 7. Also some very important context, 2 made field goals in a quarter is tied for the fewest ever, and the field goal percentage 11.1, the 5th worst ever in a single quarter in NBA playoff history.
He's going to give you everything he has out there. He's just going to run the lanes and hit the boards.
Inside contact is blocked by Parrish. 22 straight points for Boston. Nobody wants to shoot it for Atlanta.
Just chemistry.
For this Boston team 4 years later, what everyone always goes to is a great offense and great team passing, and rightfully so. We're looking at their defense equally as dominant and equally as effective, as Boston 86, first in defensive rating, first in rebounds, first in points per percentage, and third in points per game allowed. And looking at their roster, the spearhead of their defense, Dennis Johnson, one of the greatest defensive guards of all time. And behind Dennis, what they were anchored by is guys like Walton, Parrish, and even Kevin McHale. Scoring this team in the paint was virtually impossible. In the perimeter, things weren't much easier. Now, looking past Boston's great defense at their offense, in this quarter, they didn't just score 36 points to close the quarter, a 24-0 run, on record the biggest run in playoff history. Much like the 2014 Spurs 2016 Warriors, everyone on Boston was a willing passer who could make the right play. As looking at Danny Ainge among shooting guards, 7th in assists. Larry Bird for small forwards, ranked 2nd. McHale for power forwards, ranked 3rd. Walton among centers was 9th, and Parrish among centers was 10th. Out of the entire Boston starting 5, the only player who wasn't top 10 assists per position was Dennis Johnson, and Johnson overall for the NBA ranked 21st, which is 2nd on the team, only behind Bird. When you have great passing 1 through 5, 1 through 6, the forwards, guards, and centers, that takes you from a great team to an all-time great team. And this Boston team undoubtedly is an all-time great team that would thrive in any era. As looking at their play style, they could shoot, post up, had great ball movement, could run the break, and above all else, were unselfish. If you want to watch great team basketball, great passing, making the extra pass, and not a lot of ISOs, watch the Celtics, Spurs, and Golden State Warriors. As looking at all those teams, it was me over we, the team over individual success. So that right there is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Man, that right there was a great video. And I totally agree with the statement in the video. It's not the same. It's more selfish basketball going on. It's more of rather seeing your favorite team. It's more of I want to see my favorite player because I know he's going to drop 40 even if they may lose. It's more of a lot of that going on. It's a lot of, no knock, you know what I'm saying, R.I.P. Bean. But it's a lot of Kobe Bean Bryant basketball going on. But a lot of these players are not Kobe Bean Bryant. That's the issue. You feel what I'm saying? That's the problem. But yeah, man, that was a good video. But that's going to be the end of this video, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know any more recommendations y'all got for your boy to watch. Make sure you like the video. Please like the video, especially if you made it to the end of the video. Hit that like button for your boy. It means a lot to me. It helps me out tremendously. Plus, it tells me the feedback of if y'all are actually enjoying the content that I'm putting out, you know. Thank you guys. Thank you all for the support. You know, I'm going to keep rolling and keep pushing these videos out for y'all as long as y'all keep supporting. Y'all the ones I do this for. Y'all the ones who motivate me to upload a video. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I love y'all, man. It's Down with Love Sports, and I'm out this thing, man. Peace.